Hello everyone, it's Spurs Rail 96 and welcome to another Train Sim World Free live stream. Once again, continuing with the theme of late, which is historic British content. We were on the previous set of streams, we were on Northern Transpennine in 1983. This time we've wind the clock forwards a bit to 1989 and the northeast of England, where we're taking a look at the Tees Valley line. We're doing something a bit different this time. We're not going to be focusing on the freight aspect, because I already did that the last time I did a stream on Tees Valley. So we're actually going to do a passenger service with the BR Class 101. No need to bring the train to service. We will do... Let's do Darlington to Middlesbrough, then we'll do Saltburn to Bishop Auckland. I think that's fair enough. So let's get rocking and rolling and get into it. I hope everyone has had a good weekend. Okay, operating all stations, stopping service along the Tees Valley line from Darlington to Middlesbrough. It's 7:12 in the AM, so let's unlock the doors and allow the passengers to board. Brake control key to on. AWS is there somewhere. There we go. Let's do the destination to Middlesbrough. Turn the train lights on. I then have to go to the back of the train and put the tail lights on. The red marker lights. Red. Destination blind light on, and set it to Middlesbrough. That'll do. Window is closed. My better board people, we're about to move. I need to put reverse the key in. That might be wise. There we go. Right, let's lock the doors. Okay, the first stop is Dinsdale, just over 3 miles away. Actually, might not be able to go just yet, because I just noticed we got a red signal. Have to wait for a few minutes. I imagine it's a passenger service or a freight train that's coming through. For a second before we left for Middlesbrough, I thought we were running late initially, but we're not. So it's a 2-car Class 101 for this journey, and when we do the run going from Saltburn to Darlington, it will be a free coach train. We're just waiting for another passenger train to come into the station. Liam, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. MA Bot 124, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. I hope the next DLC will improve in quality. Maybe seeing some new entries like the Class 55 Deltics or maybe Class 309s. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Certainly in the long term there's a bit of uncertainty with Train Sim World and Train Simulator's future, but hopefully there'll be some good things in the pipeline, not just concerning new content, but things in the pipeline that need to be fixed, you know, parts of the game need improving, and all that jazz. There we are, we're just turning off the East Coast main line. We're now on a nice little stretch of track here to Dinsdale and beyond. I'm not sure who the person is with the presumably is a Russian or Ukrainian or whatever country has a Russian language. Train sim world free Sweden. Yeah, Sweden will be quite nice. I do have the two loco add-ons installed for this route, which is the BR Class 31 and the BR Class 20. Altogether they add 21 services to the Tees Valley line. Just over 2 miles to go now until Dinsdale. Let's cut off the power and cruise for a little bit. Liam, it's a shame now. I'm not sure now if the email I sent to Dovetail Games will be seen now if they're 100% acquired. I didn't get a response, by the way, about adding the Class 55, but that doesn't surprise me. Not at all surprised by that. Heck. We'll have to see what happens in the future. I think their communication needs to be improved a bit. Needs to be improved. Not Focus Entertainment, it seems Dovetail's perspective. Okay, we're now approaching Dinsdale. So I'm just getting ready to brake. I'd say roughly now. Hello, William O'Sullivan, good morning. Hope you're well. I'm very well, thank you. I wasn't earlier today, unfortunately. I can only do but laugh. What can I do? I can only laugh about what happened earlier this afternoon. Oh, dearie me. If you don't know what I'm on about, it's on about the football or soccer. And we're just about on time. Keeping up with it. There we go. Here we are at Dinsdale. Dinsdale. Right, let's lock the doors. Full power. Let's go. The second stop is Allens West, just over 4 miles away. William, hopefully focus now. They own this brand, keep up the same quality or better with this game. A lot of people going to walk away with it. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things that need to change, and hopefully yields better results. Obviously, the amount of content Dovetail has pumped out has been questionable, as well. Not only the sheer amount of content, but the quality of them. It's certainly been a bit up and down. I think lately things have been steady from the German perspective, certainly. Niedertalbahn was very good, albeit it wasn't specifically from Dovetail, but their last German release, Dovetail made, the Mainster Koblenz, honestly wasn't too bad. I need to pump it up into 4th gear. There we are. Yeah, it was okay. It was certainly better than what players have come to expect from Dovetail of late, from their shoddy add-on bundles for the free base routes, New York Trenton. I know I keep banging on about it, but that very much sticks out like a sore thumb. That's how bad that is. And now they're under Focus Entertainment. They can pump a bit more money into the business, get more people on board, and they won't be the dev team. They won't be under as much pressure to just constantly pump out content for the sake of it. So, I mean, as far as newish content that's coming out, what is it? The Peak Forest for new Steam route. As well as what is it? So anything else? Oh yeah, for the Class 700 for Southeastern High Speed. They should be on schedule, and hopefully, yeah, will be pretty decent. As far as beyond this summer, things are a little bit unknown, but hopefully, Dovetail will be able to take their time a bit more and polish some things. I mean, certainly Northeast Corridor, New York Trenton needs to be looked at. Spirit of Steam, I think, needs looking at. I mean, some of the routes that are nearly 1 or 2 years old now need attention. And that's not just because of the preservation crew. I'm all about like actual proper loco add-ons. I mean, I could come up with a list as long as your arm, from Clinchfield Railroad to London Commuter, Horseshoe Curve, albeit that's from Skyhook. Yeah, wow, a lot of routes need attention. Not just new loco add-ons, but timetables, fixes, etc, etc. I could go on and on about it. So yeah, I can only see it as a good news. I mean, things were becoming a bit stale, things were going a bit backwards for Dovetail regarding their products. So to inject a new lease of life into the products can only be a good thing. So I'm hopeful. I mean, it can't get worse, can it? So Yeah, you can only look up. Can only be positive. Can only be positive. 1 mile to go until Allen's West. I'll take a look at the chat in a second. I just want to just concentrate a minute here as we are approaching Allen's West. I'll also have a sip of tea and a piece of garlic bread. But yeah, I'm hopeful for the future of the train sim world. For now. I mean, I don't know how Focus Entertainment are their business practice, but certainly from the game, one of the games I have from that company, SnowRunner, it's been okay. Oh, crikey, we are braking a bit too early. Let's chug down the line a bit more and then I'll put on the brakes. Nice to see the old semaphore signals. Heritage vibes right there. Nostalgia. Oh, coming in too hot now. Ooh, brake, 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 brake. These are pretty good brakes when fully applied. Yeah, look at that, right on the money. Lovely jubbly. Alright, so here we are at Allen's West. Right, now I can look at the chat. Liam, I think that with his new company taking over, I have high expectations. High expectations? I wouldn't. That's your pure opinion, and I completely respect that. I wouldn't raise the bar astronomically just yet. We wait until maybe Train Sim World 4 comes out, and then we'll see. Because that's going to be a whole different challenge. Oh, lovely. Let's release the brakes. Right, the next station is Eagles Cliff, which is not too far at all. Hey Thierry, nice to see you, hope you're well. Welcome. MTA bus fan, hey, nice to see you, hope you're well. I'm stuck in first gear, Jesus. Keep forgetting this is a mechanical gearbox. It's not just the usual push the throttle all the way back and off you go. You have to change gear the old-fashioned way. I personally don't like changing gear. Manually, that is. Automatic is much easier. Whoa, we're going too fast now. Put it in first gear. Brake slowly into the platform. Whoa, brake, 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 brake. Solid, I'll take it. Liam, what has Liam said today? He has finally played for my T-Bird Tiptree job server way to Whittle. Won 11-0, very nice. Whilst we were playing, it was raining, so we ruined the pitch. But yes, I know. We're not even going to speak about it. Unreal. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Could not believe it. I even phoned a friend up. Who was my best mate. He's a Chelsea supporter, and even he couldn't believe it. I mean, he wasn't laughing as such because his club's stuck in mid-table. But he just couldn't believe it. I mean, I was just like, screw it. They might as well score 10. I've gone past the point of caring. So yeah, second half ended 1-1. I felt sorry for the travelling fans. Travelled all the way from London to Newcastle. Spent money on hotels, train tickets, or or maybe plane tickets. The tickets for the away game, it's a lot of money just to travel up north and watch a game for like 20 minutes. I felt really sorry for them. Hopefully the club reimbursed them, or the players reimbursed them. Because my God, the fans deserve it. That's for sure. Okay, the next station stop is Thornaby, just over 2.5 miles away. Did I put the motion blur on? Let me guess, I've probably forgotten again. Yes, I have. Apologies if you wanted the motion blur on. Well, you've got it now. Unlike Northern Transpennine, AWS is fully simulated on this route. 1989 was the time where AWS and I suppose DSD was pretty much installed across the length and breadth of the British Rail network. I imagine it was still very much in its infancy though. Mapbot 24, does the motion blur still bugged on Tears to Be Free? I saw the older models in the game still with the bugs on the wheels. That's a good question. I have no idea. Let's find out. Yes, they are. It is still broken. But I usually have it off so it doesn't bother me as such. But yeah, still a problem. Not a bad view. Right, we've got a speed limit of 20 coming up. We've got a 37. Hauling some steel. Might put it in second gear just in case we have an uphill gradient. I don't think we should, because Thornaby is literally right here. brakes in the lapped position. And then apply them now. There we are, perfect. Okay, this is Thornaby. Over there is T's yard. Massive yard. Bit of rolling stock hanging around. There should be a little shunter going about its work. Maybe not yet actually, because it's it usually comes out to play in T's yard around about 9 AM, and obviously it's 7:36. Liam, I went to the Emirates on Friday by car instead of the train. Within 20 seconds, Arsenal 1-0 down. It was funny, but the ref was also crap. So much time wasting. I had time by more than 8 minutes. Oh, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved it. That's probably the best bit of football I've watched this weekend, to be honest with you. Felt a bit gutted that Southampton didn't win it, but oh well. I mean, to get a point at the Emirates, I think is a big result for them. Banana Craft, hey, how are you? Nice to see you, hope you're well. Same goes to Old Yorkie and Tractor Free Thrasher. Hey everyone, hope you're all well. Welcome aboard. Just doing a couple of passenger services on Tees Valley. I did a stream on this before, way back in Train Sim World 2, and I mainly did the freight side of things, you know, steel runs and coal. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I think I did some work in the shunter as well, around Tees Yard and limestone and what else? Cement maybe, something like that with the 31. So yeah, I'm focusing more on the passenger side. And speaking of the 31, that will be the next bit of content I'll be turning my eyes to on Tees Valley. So if you want to see me take control of the gargoyle, as it was known, or the pet, then yeah, really appreciate it if you would consider stopping by tomorrow on April the 24th, 2023. The difference with that 31 is that I will be doing more passenger activity, because the 31 also does passenger duties as well as freight. It will be hauling dead in tow 101s, and you have quite a bit of interesting challenge there, and you do have to do runaround procedures at Saltburn. The next stop is Middlesbrough, just over 2.5 miles away, and Middlesbrough, did they lose at the weekend or did they win against Hull? It was one of the two. I think they might have even drawn, I'm not sure. Yeah, Middlesbrough certainly flying high in the championship. Thierry, one route I think would be cool in game is the North Wales Coastal from Crewe to Holyhead, which is 107 miles long, or at least Chester to Hollywood, which is 83. Plus, it only needs the Unity Vanti 221. Yeah, that would be. It would be quite nice to have a route in Wales. I agree. I think that'll be a great route. Whether Dovetail will make that, or another third party, that's anyone's guess. Banana Craft, a good old Class 101. So really like this locomotive, as you don't have to do a lot to get it moving. Yeah, it's true. Once you do get it moving, you have to fiddle around with the buttons, don't you? Changing gear and all that stuff. Something I don't personally like, but it's an interesting dynamic. Certainly adds to the 101's character. Excellent, Banana Craft. Glad you're well. Tractor Free Thrasher is a very happy Geordie today. Oh, I wonder why. Oh, that's the bridge doing its thing. Well, it was. It made a noise. It's obviously been raised. Or maybe not. Maybe it's going down. Oh well. He's making his noises. Yeah, I'm sure you are very happy, Geordie, and rightly so. You played very, very well today. Outstanding. Outstanding. It's just a shame it was against my team, but there we are. That's life, that's football. Got to move on from it. Okay, we're now approaching Middlesbrough. Thierry, I still think they need to add local hauled services as AI to Darlington if you were Northern Transpennine to simulate the East Coast mainline services. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. That's a brilliant idea. Wouldn't be that hard either. It's only a teeny tiny bit of the route. I like your thinking, Thierry. You're one step ahead of the game. Maybe Dovetail should employ you. Yeah, or even the HST and Intercity or BR livery. Yeah, now you got the old Valanta HST in the game. That could be a possibility. Oh, 74 miles long. Oh, fair enough. What was the previous thing you said, Banana Craft? Looking at routes, all we can do is... We can do... One... would be... C2C is only 40 miles or 25 stations, so it can be done. Indeed it can. Here we are, at Middlesbrough, and on time too. There's another thing as well, Journey's End, of course, here we are at Middlesbrough. The destination displays are also implemented on this route, and thankfully the display is a bit brighter, so you can actually see the destinations, unlike Northern Transpennine. But yeah, that's the first service. Got a gold, excellent. We stopped at Dinsdale, Allens West, Eaglesclere, Thornaby, and terminating at Middlesbrough. So let's continue for chapter and do a passenger service going from Saltburn to Bishop Auckland, but obviously we're terminating at Darlington. Tractor Free Thrasher brought East Midlands pack. Very happy with the sounds, room for improvement, i.e. freight services, etc. You presume East Midlands. I presume you mean the Midland Main Line, because I wasn't sure which route you meant, because there's two routes, isn't there, in the Midlands now? The Birmingham Cross City Line, and obviously the Midland Main Line. Okay, drive a stopping passenger service along the eastern end of the Tees Valley Line from Saltburn as far as Darlington. And oh dearie me, it is absolutely pouring with rain. Set up the lights for this one so people can see where we are. Ooh, going. There we go. Right, better head out in the pouring rain, something I don't really want to do, but have to do. Rain was biblical today. So we've got a free car, or free coach, 101. Darlington. Oh, I should put Bishop Auckland, really, shouldn't I? Because that's where it's technically going. I'll have to do that in the other cab. I've just reminded myself how to set the incorrect destination. Excuse me, pardon me, thank you. Darlington, it's not quite right. close enough. There we go. And now we lock the doors. Oh, I forgot to turn on the thing in the bob. It's going to shout at me in a minute. Come on! No, I don't want to sit in the second man seat. I wasn't going to rip the engine to pieces. Okay, the first stop is Mask. And we're going way too fast. But yeah, East Midlands, Midland Main Line, yeah, certainly some more freight services would be welcome. Be it AI or just more to do, really. I think they added one freight service, but yeah, one is not enough. That's the 31, doing its work. So now I'm going to push that train, that 101, into the platform. As Mark Goldbridge would say, I've played the game. Oh yes, indeed. Banana Craft, another good two routes would be the Central Line or the Northern Lines, both 50 miles, or that, yeah, the London Underground. It would be quite nice to have another London Underground line, or maybe, now they've got the Transport for London licence, maybe have the Overground. We're going way too fast again. The Overground, or I would say maybe Crossrail, but that's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, Overground would be quite nice. Have the North London line. That'd be quite cool. Valentino Collins, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. To be fair, I think they should have gone to Bishop Auckland in the first place. Yeah, it is only 15 miles. And the route is, what was it, only 24, 23 miles? So, yeah, another 15 miles, I think, wouldn't harm the route at all. I think they do, Liam, that's right. I think they both end at London-Liverpool Street. That would be pretty decent. I mean, just to have the East Coast or Main Line or the Great Eastern Main Line or West Coast Main Line, those kind of super-duper long ones, I think that will certainly get people very excited. Me included. Why, was it me or my windscreen wipers turned off? They're broken. I'm pressing the button, but nothing's happening. Oh, how bizarre. Have a look at that and get this train to a standstill. Can hardly see what's in front of me. I swear I put those wipers on before. It's a bit bizarre. Come on, moving forward. Thank you. Thank you. Where is the windscreen wipers? It's right there, isn't it? It's in park. Run. Stop. Run. Oh. I think it's broken. I was going to say, I know you have a few different settings on wipers in the game. Well, depending on the train. I mean, sometimes you can wait 2 seconds or 3 seconds. and it would go into action, but oh, it doesn't work. Oh dear. That's another thing that needs to be added to the list. Jesus Christ. Ay ay ay. So many things need fixing. It's ridiculous, really. Oh, well, we'll have to drive the rest of this service a bit blind. Never mind. Yeah, I'm doing well, Valentino Collins. Thank you. Go to the menu and come back to the game. Okay. I did. Nothing happened. Can I... Yeah, it's in park. Run. Can you manually do it? I know some of them... You can move them along. Oh, how bizarre. Oh. Well, that's the first. Tractive refresh in Midland Main Line. It did, however, crash on me the other day whilst doing a service with HST on the PS5. Noticed a lack of AI services. Yeah, I mean, I did say in my when I did a roadmap video quite a while back, I was concerned by the lack of services. I mean, yes, the amount of playable ones is prototypical to the real world version of the time, 2019, but I was a bit concerned by the lack of busyness on the AI department, and certainly additional services like the freight one in particular. I mean, just one is a bit of a joke. It should be a bit more than one. There's way more than one freight service a day on the Midland Main Line. Hey, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, the next station is Longbeck. We've got a break now. Break. Oh, stop at the end of the platform, I'll be happy. Oh, I'll take that. There's gotta be something wrong with his wipers. I mean, I pressed something I shouldn't have, or... Oh, maybe it is bugged. Very strange. Stop, maybe? What if I sit in the other chair? Oh, there's no windscreen wiper. Bugger. That's in run, yeah. That's the blind. Yeah, it is broken. Not something to do here. No, I haven't done anything I should have. Test. Lamp test. Never mind. Just have to grin and bear it. Banana Grafter Crossrail would be good, as it's a good different mix. It's a good different mix of driving, as parts are driven manually and other parts automatic. Oh, that would be... Yeah, Crossrail would be nice. A very nice addition to have. Whether Dovetail will do that is another story. The next stop is Redcar East. Be interesting to know which station we will stop at, because there are some stations which services call at and some that don't call at, like Teesside Airport, for example, or Redcar Central, which for a time was Britain's least busiest station, until it then closed down, of course, and got demolished. Got taken away and turned into something else. Don't know what it is now. MA Bot 24, TSW Classic thing, something doesn't work, who cares? I mean, why don't have new lines instead of a working game? Exactly. I do tend to agree with you on that one. Liam went to hospital on Tuesday. He has a knee injury. Oh dear. And I have a tendinitis was growing years ago, which was affecting my playing of football. Here's where my knee is pushing to my thigh. Ouch, that must hurt. Hope you get well soon. Banana Craft, well, they have already done part of the line with the GWR route, so all we would need to do is add on from there another 26 miles for the tunnels. Yeah, I mean, part of the GWR line would have to be updated a bit. I mean, that route was based on 2017, whilst electrification was still being constructed. So I imagine a fair amount would have to be changed. I mean, there's obviously the building works going on at, oh god, was it Acton Mainline Depot? Because of HS2, if it's ever going to get finished, that is. Release the brakes and cruise into the station. And very soon we will apply them again. That's better. Here we are. I did put the lights on, didn't I? Yes, they are red. Good. There's some nice little stations on this route. It can be a bit samey now and again, but not too bad. Redcar East. Thierry V. Great Eastern Main Line from London, Liverpool Street to Norwich would be good. The downside is it is 114 miles long, so probably would get made. But they do have the G8 license. Oh, they do. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. It is a few years old. It would have lots of new rolling stock, such as the Class 9323 and the 317. Exactly. So they might go for an earlier year, won't they, just to try and... Well, I mean, I think any of the rolling stock they'll fit in would have to be built from the ground up, won't it? I know on that part of the route down to, was it Shenfield, they used to have, whilst Crossrail was under construction, they were using, what was it, Class 314s or 313s or something, so they could maybe use that, cannibalise the 314 and turn it into a 315, maybe. Wouldn't be at all surprised if they go for that kind of era. The next stop is Redcar Central. Isn't it Redcar British Steel? That was the station I was pondering about, if we were going to stop at that station. Not Redcar Central, I do apologise. Points 0.7 miles away. think the level crossings work. The crossing gates. I think they work on this route. Pretty sure they do. Okay, here we are coming up to Redcar Central. Here we are. Just some light rain, not heavy rain. Otherwise I have the lightning and thunder effects. I do like this platform, Redcar Central. With what looks to be the remains of an old shed. An engine shed or whatever. It's a nice little depot. I like it. Well, it's not a depot, it's a platform, but I really like it. Looks pretty cool at night. Then by the way, Spurs, if you are streaming on 7th and 8th of May, I may just be able to make the 7th as I'll be in a hotel in Milton Hall for racing. On the 8th it depends if I get back in time. That's alright. 5th and the 7th. Yeah, I should be streaming on the 7th and 8th of May. Not sure. It's 2 weeks away. We'll have to see. Right, let's lock the doors and get cracking. Let's go to South Bank. Take it we're not stopping at Redcar. British Steel. Yeah, that's next stop. We're not stopping at Redcar British Steel. And we're not stopping at Grangetown either. South Bank is there. Bernardcraft, Greater Anglia, then. Stansted Airport to London Liverpool Street would be nice. Or up to Cambridge would be good. Yeah, well, Cambridge to London Liverpool Street is 47 miles, so that's not a problem. It's not if it's a problem, it's if Dovetail could be bothered to do it. That's the thing. I mean, Bremen-Oldenburg is a prime example. I mean, the route could have been, I suppose, good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the decision making at times has been a bit odd. Bremen-Oldenburg was just very unusual. The signature piece of that route was the bridge that went up and down. But of course, when you're driving, when you're operating the trains, you wouldn't even see it move up and down because you'd be mainly going across it. And to me, that route just didn't feel very challenging, undulation-wise, and it seemed to be a little bit uninspiring. And only, what, 20-odd miles? 25 miles? Could have been a bit better. Is it better than Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr? Yes, I think so. But I think, you know, certainly from how good some of the German routes have been of late, I think that was a little bit of a dip from Dovetail. Four miles to go until South Bank. Bizarre. Here, I don't think any services stop at Grangetown. Oh, do they not? All right. Now I've got to figure out which station is. If we just passed Redcar British Steel. Yes, it would seem so. Okay, it's just after Lackenbury Steelworks. I was going to say, if they have any destination displays, I'll take a look at it and see if it's completely blank. Maybe some AI services do it. Albeit I'm not sure if there is any AI services at all on this route. We just passed over the Redcar ore terminal, and very shortly we'll be thundering past Lackenbury Steelworks. Liam, I did that. You can't part there's meme on a few people today. There was a car crash in the middle of the A12, so I said even to the airbag. I went off in the car. You can't park there. Oh god. Two miles to go until South Bank. Keep an eye out for when that Grangetown comes up. And there's a freight train just departing as well from the steelworks. So that could prove a problem. It should wait at the just at the end here, a little down line. But then again, we do have to come to a stop. So right, we're coming up to Grangetown now, I think. This must be Grangetown here. This must be Grangetown, or what's left of it. Yeah, there's nothing here. No services stop here, I don't think. Otherwise, destination displays would be present. Have a steel train. Would be quite nice if we could get out ahead of that steelworks train, then we won't have to be stopping and starting and bumping into red signals every 5 minutes. That would be nice. That will do. If I see that grey monster come out that appear on this track, I won't be too pleased. But then again, adds another layer of challenge. There's a nice bench here, albeit very wet. Have a look at the train. I'll have a sip of tea whilst I'm at it. Liam, there were people standing near the accident and I asked if they were okay. They said yes. So I said, do you know stock car racing? They said no. And I said, that's what your car will do. A car will do. Can I have your car? Oh, very good. It's probably getting towed away to the scrapyard now. It's been written off. It is true that there was an accident with the BMW driver being at fault, hence why I said there was a risk, but the officers were quite far away. I'm not a big fan of BMW. My mum used to have an old M5. It was an M3, it was one of the two. It was in one of the old M cars. It was white, and she had it for so long. It was like a 95 one. She had it until like the early 2000s, when it became too unreliable. It was a nice BMW though. It was automatic. Massive engine. Huge at the time. Good grief. Big bulging thing it was. Right, the next stop is familiar ground. It is Middlesbrough. And we're destroying second gear. Let's put it into fourth gear. Thankfully we did manage to get ahead of the 37, which is nice. It will remain behind us for the remainder of this service. Thierry just googled it, and Grangetown Station was opened in 1885 as a Eston Garage, and was renamed Grangetown in 1902, and in 1991 the station was closed. Right, I see. The freight service should be held for you, as you should have priority as a passenger service. Right, well, that makes sense. Fat guy status. Yeah, that's right, Liam. Yeah, you can have, for this week, you can have the fact guy badge or status. Just under 1.5 miles to go until Middlesbrough. It feels to me like this stream has just flown by. I don't know about you. In fact, we're nearly at Middlesbrough already. I thought the passenger services would take an age, so I thought the stream would be very long, but it's only just gone over an hour. Unbelievable. Apply the brakes. A bit too fast. Just a bit. To the 28 mark and let the train coast. I must say I am keen for that class 700, that Thameslink train. It's grown on me. I'm looking forward to it very much, because South Eastern High Speed is my favourite modern UK route and train sim world. So an extension, a new timetable, and yeah, a fresh loco add-on is yeah, certainly welcome. Not gonna lie. Oh, brake. Yeah, Peak Forest, I'm a bit in the middle. don't think I know enough about that route to get ridiculously excited for. I mean, Spirit of Steam, I was hyped for that route. I mean, everyone was. It was the first Steam route. But this one, I'm a little bit not sure. I feel a little bit underwhelmed by it. You know, only one new Steam locomotive. And judging by Dovetail, they haven't even got the resources to construct a era accurate timetable. Isn't great when it seems Peak Forest, the majority of the activities they're going to be doing on Peak Forest is freight, so that isn't very good. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Dovetail may have planned Peak Forest for May. It might not come out at all in May. It might come out in June now, thanks to the new leadership that will probably dictate what Dovetail do with Train Sim World. It would be nice if they cut the prices down. I hope they do that soon. I mean, off to a good start. I mean, they're making for 1 week in May all the French content in Train Sim World and Train Simulator available for free. It's not bad at all, really. A free Train Sim World route. Free. Not on a steep discount for free. F-R-E-E. Free. Oh yes. Well, it was weird. I was looking at the Steam store earlier yesterday on Train Simulator, and some of the French content is gone. Like, I think there's like a couple of loco add-ons for what was it, a TGV Rescue Duplex and all that stuff. That's gone. Unless they're going to come back to the store soon, maybe. I don't know. Just found it a bit stranger. They announced it would be for free, and some of it isn't even there. So, I'm just a bit gutted that I don't have Train Simulator on PC. I would buy those routes hands down. My God, I love LGV Mediterranean, and especially that Train Simulator version, where it has the extension up to Lyon. Oh my God, if we could have that in Train Sim World. Oh my goodness, please, I would love that. That would make my dreams come true. Ugh. There's probably a better chance of seeing an LGV Mediterranean extension in the summer, actually. You never know. Or autumn, winter time of this year. Now that they're under French ownership. As Focus Entertainment is a company that's based in Paris, in France. So yeah, an LGV Mediterranean extension would be very welcome. And hopefully the prices will come down a bit on these loco add-ons and routes, you know. Not to their original status, so what was it, 23 quid, 24 quid, or 11 odd quid. Might come down a lot. That would be nice. I'd welcome that. I mean, just to give you a perspective, I haven't brought any new Train Sim World content since February, I think. The last bit of content I managed to purchase was the Amtrak Acela, and other than that I haven't purchased anything really. Just too expensive. You know, you add them all up and it just gets a bit too much. Freight service just went by. Fornaby is just over 1.5 miles away. It's basically on the other side of T's yard. No, Liam, we're a team. Okay. Minecraft, yeah, fuel was like 60p a litre back then. Wow, in 1998, now it's £1.70 something. Wow. 60p a litre. Good grief. Unbelievable. How times have changed. I suppose, did you look up the lines I told you about? In the last stream, you mean? Is that what you mean? If so, I'll be honest, no I haven't. I have not had a chance to. I've been incredibly busy this week. It has been a tough couple of weeks. Oh, let's put it that way. Nothing to do with financial or anything like that. It's more emotional, mental stuff in the family than that. Far from it. Yeah, but I will take a look at it, Thierry. Now you've reminded me. I'll take a look at it. I'll have to go back and look on last week's stream, but I'll certainly take a look at it. Liam, Grangetown Railway Station served the township of Grangetown and the borough of Redcar and Cleveland, North East England, between 1885 and 1991 as a stop on the Tees Valley Line. The station opened as Eastern Grange on the 22nd November 1885 by the North Eastern Railway. It was situated about 1 kilometre from the current Grangetown. The station's name was changed to Grangetown on January the 1st, 1902. Grangetown was one of the stations to have been adversely affected due to the closure of factories, having only a few passengers left. The station was closed on the 25th November 1991. Here we are, coming into Thornaby. That'll do. Banana Craft, running a BMW car now would be expensive. My car is bad enough and that's close. And that's £70 from empty to fuel up. Yeah, it's not cheap at the moment. Not cheap. Obviously my mum doesn't have that BMW anymore. She's got a car built by BMW. She's got a Mini. She likes that very much. She's had it for 3 years now. She's planning on doing some cosmetic upgrades to it. Nothing boy racer type, but she's planning on getting the Union Jack flags done on her mirrors. Oh yeah, the last stream. Right, I see, Thierry. Liam, what I said is okay though, as he owns a Jag. Yeah. Yeah, you know the Top Gear thing well. That's alright, because he's got a Jag. No, it makes me laugh. I remember it very well. Cool car though, Jags. Cool cars. Very James May kind of cars, really. Thierry, I don't mind paying 30 quid for a route. That is well made, but I think 15 quid for Loco DLC is daylight robbery. Well, it is, considering, you know, how much Dovetail is pumping out for the Loco add-on bundles. I mean, they're £5 apart, aren't they? Which I suppose is kind of good, because it's cheaper than a quote-unquote new Loco add-on, but at the same time it's a bit mean, because they're locomotives we already have. So I would personally have new, built from the ground up, new Loco add-ons for £5. I mean, I would take that any day of the week. I mean, Focus Entertainment have got to do something with their pricing. You know, is getting ridiculous now. I wouldn't be surprised if Dovetail sales go down. Their income is going down because of how expensive it has become. People being turned away by it, waiting for those discounts. I was planning on getting, a couple of weeks ago during the PlayStation Spring Sale via North East Corridor, New York Trenton, in anticipation that the big update Dovetail was at the time planning to pump out would improve the services, or, you know, add a lot of AI traffic or what have you. But it didn't do anything to that, so I was put off by it. And I will not buy that route. until I absolutely feel that I need, until I need to feel it is necessary that I purchase that route ASAP. And yeah, it's going to be a fair old while, I think, before I end up picking up that route. I just feel it's still not finished. I mean, half the route is lagging behind the other side of the route scenery wise. It's not busy enough, there's still bugs. Yeah, it's certainly improved. Fixing some scenery issues and issues with scenarios, tutorials, or rolling stock, but I still think it's not enough. It's not enough. And now that Dovetail has been brought out by Focus Entertainment, hopefully they can sort some things out behind the scenes, because things need to change. Not the personnel, but maybe the way they do things, and etc, etc. Anyway, the next station stop is Eagles Cliff, just under 2 miles to go. Right, I will say the usual YouTube shenanigans. If you did enjoy this stream, be it live or on playback, then make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. And if you are watching for the very first time, then I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. What am I putting in first gear for? Speed limit coming up is only 30. Heard some sheep in my right ear. Must be some sheep about getting soaked in the fields. I'd feel very miserable if I was a sheep getting soaked in these conditions. Mind you, I watched the FA Cup semi-final between Brighton and Manchester United, and it just absolutely chucked it down before the penalty shootout. Rain came out of nowhere. Even the commentators were surprised by how much rain was falling. Just realised I put it in neutral, not fourth gear. Oh dear, I'm a right muppet. I was wondering, like, we're not accelerating, are we? Let's put in first gear before I make any more mess. I'll start braking once we've gone under this bridge. Here we are. Here is Eagles Cliff. Brake. Oh, never mind. Gone way too far. Never get my braking right on this locomotive, this multiple unit. Can never get it right. Well, I can, just not consistently. Banana Graph, why am I now thinking of the Grand Tour episode of Jags? Thanks to Liam. I never watched that episode with the Jags. Grand Tour. Well, I might have, but it's a very long time ago. Barely remember it. I think £15 for... I think 15 quid if it's 2 or more locomotives, but one I think for 7. Oh, fair enough, that's a interesting dynamic there. MA Bot 24, love these chill 9 streams, perfect to relax before sleep. Oh, thank you. Call me 007. 0 DLCs. 0 medals, 7,000 overshoots. Very good. Very good. Oh dear. Thierry, well, I'll tell you, one of them is under consideration for reopening, but has been for years. The local government said about reopening it in 1990, but British Rail said it would cost them £1.6 million. Probably cost a bit more in today's money. Right, let's go to Allen's West. Yeah, the old Mini was small and is a nice car. Yeah, it is a nice car. I imagine it's pretty rare now, sought after by collectors. The old Mini. I think we'll just cruise now at this sort of speed. So we're coming up to Allen's West. No, not really a small car anymore, Mini, but the same size as a Corsa or Ford Focus. Yeah, they're bigger than they are today, obviously, due to technology and safety and all that stuff. But yeah, it's still reasonably small. Certainly smaller than the massive SUVs you see today and big pickup trucks. Particularly in America, those pickup trucks are massive. They are monsters. Some have got like massive, like supercharged V8s or something. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Not enough about cars. Need to focus on braking for the station stop. There we are. Thierry, for the upgrading of a still active freight line plus a £200,000 yearly operation cost 1.3 million in 1990. So imagine how much it would cost in today's world. Yeah, imagine double figures, maybe 30 odd million quid or something, 36 million. I don't know. I don't know that freight line quite well, so I don't know how often it is used by the freight companies. J. Jenner, hey, how are you? Or G. Jenner? Lies. I don't know what you're saying lies to or about, but okay. Banana Craft, that's as bad as me putting my car in first gear and driving off like it and then going, why is it sounding really bad? Yeah. Sugar, pressed the wrong button. My bad. I think I'll eat something now. Drunk a lot of tea. It's time to eat something. Something like garlic bread, for instance. Crush them. There we go. And take a bite. Marvellous. I think I'll put it in fourth gear once you reach the maximum RPM of second, just so I don't have to change gear again. I want to focus on eating. I'm very hungry. Driving automatic bus all day. Yeah, I bet driving an automatic bus is, I wouldn't say easy, because obviously you've got to take into consideration of how long and tall it could be. But I think anything driving in anything that's automatic is better than a manual. That's just me personally speaking. Very nice. MA Board 24 from TSW to ASMR. It's nothing. Speaking of ASMR, I thought I'd put another video up in the series. I went back to Germany and did an hour on Bremen Hauptbahnhof on Bremen-Oldenburg. Whilst I criticised Bremen-Oldenburg for being quite an uninspiring route, I'll give credit for the amount of traffic that's on that route. It's pretty decent, particularly around Bremen, with the AI trains scuttling through the station. Freight in particular. Right, we got just under 3 miles to go until Dinsdale. Just under 2.5 miles to go until Dinsdale. Excuse me. The line was closed in 1968 to passengers and 2000 to freight. It remained open to serve a pet food factory. Would you believe it? Pet food. Oh, you saw it, MA Bot 24. Hope you liked it. I think I need to start getting back into that series. It's quite popular. Not saying it generates thousands of views, but certainly generates a few hundred views, which is nice. Something different to the usual stuff I do. The Pack, aka Andrew. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. New to the channel. Oh, lovely to see you. Welcome. Hope you're well. From what I've observed, it looks cool. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoy it. Tend to do streaming on a regular basis, 2 streams every week. One on every Sunday and Monday. And as far as other content, I just try and pump out as much as I can do in the time I have. Anyway, we got 30 miles per hour coming up. And why? Because we are fast approaching Dinsdale. Brake a bit more, train. I don't want to apply the brakes. I don't want to apply too much of the brakes, otherwise I'll then be cruising again, or trying to accelerate into the station just to generate a bit of speed. Hence why I'm keeping it at this current brake application. Or whatever percent it was, 23%. And we're way ahead of schedule as well, so no rush. 9:46 we're due in. Here we are. Not long to go now. Here we are back at Dinsdale. I think we've got only one more stop. Yes, we do. That is Darlington. So we started at Darlington. We're going to end at Darlington. Banana Craft, after driving a bus for 3 years, you pretty much know how to handle anything really, as it's easier than a car. Sometimes as you have good mirrors. Of course, you've got massive mirrors, don't you? And are high, so you can see over cars. That's very true, actually. I didn't think of that. MABot24 made a video on the tunnel exit at Huddersfield on Northern Trans-Pennine, spotting the traffic in that zone. Could be interesting. It's pretty interesting if you have the heavy freight pack, which I took a look at last week. Then certainly adds a bit more variation to the traffic pattern. Mostly vans and tank wagons, heavy loaded or empty. Oh, that was a bin on the actual on the bench there, but then I realised it's just the camera view. Another train coming in, very nice. What timing? Another free coach train. One comes in, another departs. The next and final stop is Darlington, just over 3 miles away. Yeah, I did an outside view of the train, Andrew. Hope you liked it. Not bad for Class 101. It's not my favourite type of train. Certainly something different. As to the body, Thierry line was closed to passengers. Part of it was completely ripped up, and the part that was still used by freight traffic was singled. Ah, right, I see. Shame. Out of a shame. Bet they wish they never ripped it up now. Banana Craft deckers are not really a problem, really, as most of the roads are marked up for low bridges and stuff, so they're not really a problem. Just slow. And top heavy if everyone sits up there. That's true. But you do get the occasional double decker that rips the roof off when it hits a bridge. There are some drivers that forget, I suppose, or don't look at the markings of a low bridge. There we are. If you just type in the 56094, you can find videos by someone called Nicholas Youngman. If you go onto his channel, you can find a playlist called March to Wisbeck? Right, okay. MABot after says, yeah, you'll never need the wiper. Yeah, we won't need the wipers on now. Thank God it's not heavy rain, only light rain. Certainly helps. Odd van that bug. I've never experienced that before in Train Sim World ever. Like the wipers not working. I mean, they did work originally, didn't they, at the start? The service. I turned it on and it worked, and then it's almost like it just switched itself off. I didn't want to turn on. 1 mile to go until Darlington. And yes, I'm eating another piece of garlic bread, for those of you wondering. Put it in second gear. It is delicious. Indeed. It's fantastic. Garlic bread tonight. Don't usually have garlic bread, but I thought I'd have it tonight. It was in the fridge, so I thought I might as well use it. It's there to be eaten, so why not? Who said that? Global? However you say it correctly. It is delicious. Andrew, what's your opinion on steam trains? Would you drive one on the simulator? I have driven a steam train, not in real life, but in this game, Train Sim World, I have driven steam trains, and yeah, the driving them, they're not too bad. They simulate the physics pretty well. They look pretty good. They sound pretty decent. The route it came with, Spirit Steam, which was a 1950s route which went from Liverpool to Crewe. The route was pretty good. I think the operations on that route was a little bit on the dry side. Like, it wasn't as busy as I expected, particularly the freight stuff. You came with 2 locomotives, an LMS Jubilee class steam locomotive and the 8F, which is a freight locomotive. And yeah, service-wise on the timetable, passenger stuff was fine. The freight stuff, I think they could have pushed the boat out a bit more with that, and hopefully they will do with a locomotive add-on, like a tank engine or something. Oh, I'd buy that straight away. If Dovetail was to announce like any locomotive add-on for Spirit of Steam, I'll take hands down. Hands down. But yeah, if you've got Spirit of Steam, I'd certainly recommend giving it a try on this game. It's a decent first experience of driving a steam train. I mean, you can do the work as the fireman as well, but I don't think Dovetail have properly implemented like a firing mechanic of being the fireman yourself. I know they accidentally put the tutorial out for how to be a fireman, but it doesn't work, so obviously I don't think it was meant to be ready. I mean, why park the train all the way out here in the pouring rain? Why couldn't we just put it under cover where it's nice and warm and dry? Never mind. Anyway, no one's going to get out anyway. Wise Bay. Oh, right, okay. Wise Beach, okay, or Vice Beach, right. Banana Craft, yeah, today was fun with that weather warning thing. Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I never got it. I don't know why. I was talking to maybe because I was on the phone to someone. I was on the phone to my friend, best mate, talking about the Tottenham game, and I could hear him. His phone got the notification. I could hear it buzzing away. Well, I never got it. I have no idea why. It might have been something in the settings and made it fiddled around with, but I never got it. Don't know. Very bizarre. There's been a few weird things today, hasn't there? Ay. Mine didn't go off at all, Thierry. I know my friend got his a couple of minutes early. He got his at 14:57. I didn't get mine at all. Suppose a blessing in disguise. I don't know. Was driving at the time scared me a little when it went off. Oh, I bet Banana Craft. Oh, I bet. I couldn't agree more, yeah. Anyway, that will do for today's stream on the Tees Valley Line. The next stream, will be tomorrow on Monday the 24th of April 2023, roughly the same time. We'll be taking a look at the BR Class 31, doing some passenger services, once again on the Tees Valley Line. If you did enjoy the stream, then make sure to hit the thumbs up button below, and if you are watching for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, I will see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.